Hello, my name is Álvaro Ortiz, partner at Populate Tools, the design and development studio behind the creation of the Continents of Secrets game. Recently, the Pulitzer Center very generously decided to fund the development of an online game called Continent of Secrets, a fast-paced quiz to help educate people about Africa and to try to illustrate how the whole continent suffers from a huge tax evasion problem. This online game was an idea of the fantastic team at the ICIJ as a companion to the stories they were going to run at the end of July 2016 about tax evasion in Africa based on the Panama Papers investigation. We only had 4 weeks to conceive, design and develop the whole game. It needed to work perfectly both for desktop and mobile devices, and also ICIJ news partners needed to be able to embed the game in their own websites. So here is how we went about it. We started by focusing on 2 areas, game dynamics and content. On game dynamics, we looked for inspiration in other games we knew and liked and started producing a few mock-ups of how they could work. We shared them with the ICIJ team and quickly iterated on the concepts up to 4 or 5 times based on their comments. At the same time, the ICIJ team was thinking about the content and seeing the mock-ups helped them come up with more ideas and to decide on the content that should go in the game. This initial iterative process went on for at least a week and a half, and in the meantime, even though the content of the game was not yet locked down, we started developing some of the components we knew we would need. For instance, we knew from early on that we were going to need a map of Africa for people to click on different countries, so we started developing a simple and flexible map component that would help us do that easily later in the process. We also went ahead and developed a small framework for the game, on top of which we would later develop the actual game. The next step was to build an initial version of the game with which we could easily actually play and test whether the content and the dynamics work well or not. This really helped lock down the content because by trying the actual product, we could decide with the ICIJ what questions were too hard or needed hints, etc. At the same time, we started working on the visual design. The goal here was to make it look fun and approachable, but without losing sight of the seriousness of the underlying tax evasion problem, which was the ultimate reason for the game. The last part of the process was to finalize the technical development, implement the visual design onto our game, and to nail down on the details, like ensuring the game would work well on mobile phones and that the experience was smooth all along. This went on until on early morning July 25th, when we opened the game to everybody. We encourage you to go ahead and try it. It only takes a few minutes to complete and you will learn a lot about Africa.